We were created in God's image, and we have to look at ourselves as the beauty that oh God made us. There's beauty in every creature that God has made. And as Psalm 1
K Classic. Oh.
Hi, this is Christine with Virtuous Woman, and joining me is a very special guest, Sophia. It is a
Hi Christine.
Hi. It is a pleasure to have you on this platform. I um thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule for this cause. So we are here to address a very important topic that many Black women has been struggling with on a daily basis. When I say Black women, I mean old and the young. And it's this long-standing issue of discrimination against our body and a whole, in particular our skin color and or hair, and it has resulted in significant psychological damage to these women. you know um, there are many studies that supports this claim. Many women suffer anxiety, depression, and poor self-esteem, as a result of this treatment. Um, or or natural features are god given, and we want to encourage others to appreciate them. um you know Many times, especially in the workplace, women are being told that their hair looks unprofessional, it looks untidy, it's not clean, and it is so unfortunate that women, God's creation, are being targeted this way, and no one should be made to feel this way, no matter what the race you are from. If you find yourself struggling with self acceptance, be encouraged. There is hope. So, Sophia, what encouragement can you provide to those who are, experiencing challenges with accepting their body and a whole, in particular their hair and skin?
Well, first and foremost, Christine, let's look at it from a biblical perspective. We cannot do anything. We were created in God's image, and we have to look at ourselves as the beauty that oh God made us. There's beauty in every creature that God has made. And as Psalm 139 says, I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works. So first of all, what when we look at ourselves, we have to realize that we were fashioned by God Himself. Our hair, our nails, our skin color, everything about us was intricately made by God. He didn't make a mistake in the way how He formed us and how He made our hair. Growing up as a little girl in Jamaica, people would say, call me brownie, but I do not consider myself as a brownie. I consider myself as a proud Black woman. Did I embrace this at first? I didn't. Growing up, you were always treated differently because I used the color of your skin. But as I grew up, I got to embrace myself more as a Black woman and not as a brownie, because there's no such thing as a brownie. In God's eyes, we are all beautiful creatures. And I want to encourage Black women out there to embrace your skin color. Stop the bleaching of your skin, because the melanin in your skin is what a lot of white people come to Jamaica to tan for. They want to get a little bit darker. But instead, we look at our skin tone and say, oh, I want to become brown because a man is going to like me more. Everybody should appreciate the skin color that you get. And it was when I got into my early 20s that I started embracing, especially my hair. I didn't embrace my hair at first because on my dad's side, they were more of an Indian nature. But my mom is Black and she has curly, extra curly textured hair. And I got it. At first, when I was young, I was like, why couldn't my father talk to an Indian woman and have Indian hair? But as I grew up and I started accepting myself and recognize that this is how God made me, I embraced myself. And the more I embraced myself, is the more I loved what God gave to me. And so when I started out with my natural ear, it was a pleasure touching it. The texture of it, I embrace it. There are times I let it out and it's all over, and people will be like, "Do something to you." I'm like, "No." If somebody who has long hair and it comes down on their back, that was how their hair was made. They can't make it to stand up. Mine can stand up without I even touching it or putting anything on it. It just goes out. So I have to appreciate that and love it. And the more I embraced it was the more that I found different things to do with it. Let it out. There are days I let it out and it just the wind going through it. It feels great. And I love it. And as I get into it, I recognize that there are lots of things that I could do with my hair. First of all, we have to nurture our hair. We
Yes.
can't treat it like how somebody who is an Indian would treat their hair by bleaching it. They put bleaching color in it to color it to give it a different side. If you like a little bit of color, nothing is wrong with that. But the texture of our hair, it is more brittle, and so we have to give it a lot more moisture.
Right.
We have to put a little bit of, you have to add moisture to it by adding water to your hair to make it soft and nice. And when you add a little bit of water to it, it gives it moisture. And you have to use, you can't use a regular ear oil like what other people use. You have to use more natural stuff like coconut oil. Coconut oil makes your hair very slippery and it gives it texture and cause it to be bouncy. Olive oil mixed with coconut oil, those are stuff that you have to use in your natural hair to make it grow. A lot of people find their hair very short and they say, "Lord, my hair can't grow because I'm black." There are many black women out there with shoulder length hair. When I was going to college, there was a young lady from St. Thomas with her hair was almost next to her bottom. It reached tailbone length, and I usually wonder how she comb it. And those were some of the people I saw, and it inspired me over time to say, I need to embrace my natural hair. And if we as black people do that, the hair industry would not make so much money. Black women is really the women who are causing the hair industry to be such a massive industry because we buy a lot of hair and we think we need to cover over what God has blessed us with because it don't look good. I told myself when I migrated that this is the hair that I have. I'm not going to texturize it. I'm not going to put any cream in it. If I have to attend a board meeting, I'm going to style my hair nicely and represent my black culture. And a lot of people, a lady said to me once who was Caucasian, she said, when a black woman embraces her hair, it empowers her. You
Yes.
feel like a lioness in inside. Well,
Yes.
I don't know for other people. I feel like a lioness inside walking around with my black hair because this is what I have. And I'm not intimidated by somebody who has long flowing hair on their back. I don't feel intimidated. And I actually, if people say, "Can I touch your hair?" I said, "Of course." Because they don't know what the texture of a black person here. And when sometimes when they do see my hair, they're like, "This is how black women here are." I'm like, "Yes, this is how our hair is." And I embrace it. But a lot of black women want people to think that because of the stigma that is attached to our hair, there's a shame that is carried with it to say, "I should not let people see my hair because it don't look like theirs." It won't look like anybody else's because you're unique. And because of your uniqueness, you ought to recognize that people's curiosity will, it's gonna strike curiosity because they're wondering, okay, so here is not like mine. And kids will even ask questions who don't look like you. Because I work with kids, and a little girl said to me this week, "Oh, Sophia, I love your hair." And I said, "Thank you." Because in this culture, they only see people with long hair.
Right.
They don't see people with a different texture here. And so to them, when they see it, it looks different. And you look like an odd person out. But you have to learn to accept who you are and how God created you. He didn't make a mistake. There's nothing. When God finished making the earth, he sat back and he said, "Wow, this is beautiful."
Exactly.
And so it means that we as Black people are beautiful from the inside right outward. And if
Yes.
you notice us, even our skin tone, we don't need to do anything to make melanin
No.
because of the skin color that we have. We naturally make that. While some white people would love sometimes to look like us, it's just that they're not voicing their opinion to say, I would love to have this. But why would they come to our country or go to the Caribbean or somewhere there's lots of sunlight and be laying down in the sun for hours and hours and hours? It is that we have been brainwashed from slavery to say, once you're Black, you're not good.
Definitely. And I just want to stop you right there because most of these social injustice is a result of fear and lack of knowledge.
Mhm.
They just need to just educate themselves because we are all different. And I'm happy that you mentioned that point.
Well, Christine, to be honest with you, I wish more Black people would speak out on these platforms to let Black persons or Black women
Mhm.
embrace themselves, and especially our hair,
Yes.
because to me, with the hair texture that we have, it can do so many things.
Man, so much.
If you notice, most persons with straight hair, they can only cut, they have to cut their hair to get a style.
You want to say
We don't have to do that.
you want to say it's versatile.
Very versatile, and we have variety.
Yes.
Sometimes we can have our cornrow. Sometimes we can have those we call it Chinese bump in Jamaica,
Two nuts.
bantu knots. Thank you very much. We can have bantu knots. When we're ready, we can flat twist our hair, and when you let it out, it is so curly and bouncy and look good. So we don't really have to go to a hairdresser to texturize our ear to have that versatility in the styles that we do. Sometimes when you look, you can have it in, just curl up, and I don't know. I find my hair to be so versatile. I do so many things with it.
And
So I enjoy it.
excuse me, even with the buntu nuts, you can do them and then you can loosen them and then it forms like a curl pattern.
Curl.
So much that you can do with it.
And if we teach our children at a young age, it starts from a very young age. Don't stigmatize your Black child. You might have a Black child and a brown child, and you treat that brown child different from how you treat another child. You have to treat your kids equally,
Yes.
and instilling them at a young age. When I was growing up, my grandma instilling us to embrace our hair, our natural hair. My grandmother usually used coconut oil. I've been using coconut oil in my hair for a very long time from a child growing up, and it gives it that slip. So for me, there's many things that I mix in my oils to do my hair. I put peppermint in it. I will put eucalyptus oil in it. And the eucalyptus oil and the peppermint stimulates growth for your hair. You use it on your scalp, and because you use those oils, the blood that runs to your scalp, it helps to stimulate growth. So you have to make sure that you keep your hair moisturized every day. In Jamaica, our atmosphere has a lot of moisture. So even because you're sweating, it gives moisture to your hair. But for us who lives abroad and it's more dry, you have to give your hair moisture, because without that moisture, it will break easily and it won't stay. You won't get that length. The tip of our hair is the driest part. So you have to focus on the tip of your hair to make sure that you oil it every day, and you spritz it with a little bit of water, just like plants and your body. You taking a lot of water and you drink, your hair as well needs water, and that water gives it that moisture. And if you moisturize your hair every day, you will be frightened to see how much it grows in such a short time. And I tend to go on YouTube to find people who have black hair, black long hair and listen to some of their tips that they give. And one of the tips is that water helps our black hair to grow. It's like plant. The more you water it, it's the more it grows. So I would encourage people to embrace the African side of you, because when you embrace that, you're empowered and you feel like a lioness, as I said. To me, I feel empowered walking around as a black woman,
Yes, yes.
because there's just that, when you come into that consciousness,
Mhm.
it's like there's nothing anybody can say to you that makes you feel less than a human being.
Right, definitely, definitely. And the most supreme being, the creator or creator, has told us that he has made us beautiful. That's the most.
Exactly.
We're not here to bash any race. We don't
No.
encourage those who have been met with unkind treatment, to embrace what God has given them. So, no matter what anybody tells you, the Creator said, "You are beautiful."
Well, Sister Christine, God created everything, every race,
Yes.
every nationality in its uniqueness.
Mhm.
And the reason why we're even addressing this is because look at the hair industry. It's mostly black women who are buying extensions because we feel ashamed of our hair. We don't want anybody to see it. And we think that it can't grow. While if we should stop using a lot of the industrial products or products that are made in a factory,
Mhm.
those things clogs our pores and it doesn't let our ear breathe. And because of that, it stagnates the growth of our hair. While if we use more natural products, it will help our hair to grow.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Mine might not be as long as a lot of people, but I love it.
And that's
It
okay.
is mine
Mhm.
and I appreciate it and embrace it and love it. When I'm ready, I pull it out and just go wild with it.
And it's not a matter of length either, because
Thank you.
that's another issue. Look at mine. It's very short and I'm proud of it. So it's not about length, it's about your,
No,
making the most of it, whether it is short, whether it is long. Just learn to accept your hair, no matter what other people tells you. Your hair is a gift from your creator. Accept it, embrace it. If
exactly.
you want, I mean, nothing is wrong with if you want an extension, but the purpose of wearing it shouldn't be because you are feeling less than yourself. If you're feeling insecure, if you want a little style, because there's nothing, like jazzing up yourself a little bit sometimes, but your purpose shouldn't be that you want to wear, the artificial hair um, because you're insecure. That's the point I want to try to drive across.
And some people think that without extension they don't look good. They
Yeah.
think that they don't look beautiful without extensions or putting in um artificial hair. While with your natural hair, you are just as beautiful with your natural hair as it with extension. It's just that you have to just know how to style your hair. Another great tip to use is that aloe vera is a very good thing to use. If you don't want to use water, you can use aloe vera, scrape out the gel inside the aloe vera and blend it up and use it to spritz your hair. That helps to grow your hair as well. So there are many things out there that we can use that are natural that will enhance our hair and give it nice moisture and slip. When I use aloe vera on my hair, it makes it so soft, it doesn't feel that dry. So we can use different things to help our hair to feel soft, because a lot of people don't want to touch their natural hair because it's so dry and they don't moisturize it. So to them it feels very, hard to touch and it feels coarse. While if we do use a lot of things on it, that are natural. Our hair cannot take a lot of artificial stuff. It makes it, it doesn't gives it that softness. While if we use those natural things, even sometimes you can use your own. If your hair is breaking too much, get a little bit of carrot, grate it, and use the juice from the carrot and spritz your hair. Yes. Our hair yes, our hair likes natural things. Spritz your hair with the coconut, with the carrot juice. And that will help your hair to stop breaking so much.
Okay. Good.
So we have to use things that are natural. Even banana. Banana, if you mix banana
Ripe
with ripe banana with avocado, and if you mix that up with your conditioner and put on your steam cap with that and steam your hair, when you're finished with your hair, it is as soft as ever.
Okay. Oh, these are some very good tips. And as you mentioned about the aloe vera gel, it also helps with itching.
With
Um,
dandruff,
it helps
it
because
helps with dandruff.
yes, I've heard testimonies of persons having itchy scalp, and
Mm-hmm.
that was a good remedy for it. So, and there you have it. We're made by God, and He has provided things in nature for us to use. So that is so awesome. That's good.
Our black hairs, Christine, likes natural stuff.
Hmm.
And the more natural you can be, or more authentic you can be with your natural hair, it will appreciate it and grow more.
Oh.
And you just have to oil your hair. I try to oil my hair every other day. Because of time, sometimes I don't get to do it every day. But if you oil your hair, moisture is what black people need to put in their hair. With that moisture, your hair will grow. It's just because of the constraints of time. Sometimes I get up, I have to rush to work, so I don't get to put in a lot of oils in my hair. But we need to oil our hair every day. Some persons, other cultures, they don't need to, because they have that natural sebum that comes up from their scalp. Our hair, because it is so curly, that natural sebum doesn't get to come down from the ear, from your scalp to the ear shaft. So it might stop halfway. So you are gonna have to put your oils onto your hair and massage your scalp and massage your hair. You have to give your hair tender love and care, just like how you would give your body tender love and care. You eat in order to let your body stay longer or to have that strength. Same thing with our hair. You have to give it that love. Make sure you're taking time out. And a lot of people use these fine tooth combs to comb their hair. Our hair cannot handle those fine tooth combs because it knots easily. So you have to be gentle. When I was growing up, people would comb my hair from the root to the tip. You're tearing out your hair that way. You start from the tip of your hair, combing your hair. If you want to detangle your hair, comb it from the tip to the root, not from a root to tip. We were taught that we comb our hair this way. So you're tearing out your hair. If you start from the tip and start to detangle with a comb and continue upwards, you don't lose that much hair. But when you're starting from the root and drawing the comb through it, you're tearing out your hair and then you lose a lot of hair and then you won't see the length. Another thing that people do, well, on YouTube, they call it finger detangling. But it takes a lot of time. You have to be patient with yourself, patient with your hair. Take a time out. If you're in a rush, don't comb your hair because you're gonna get frustrated with it. So you have to make time for your hair where you sit down and say, okay, I'm slotting from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. And sometimes it takes longer. It takes me sometimes 3 hours to get my hair done. But I have to be patient with it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
A lot of times we think, okay, if we go to the hairdresser, we don't have to deal with our hair. But we too have to spend time because that's how you get to know your hair. Your hair is like a different part of your body, and you have to get to know it. Know what it likes, what are its dislikes. It's not everything we can use in our hair like everybody out there. Some conditioners, instead of when you read it on the shelf, it says, oh, it's a conditioner, but not every conditioner is good for us. Conditioners with alcohol that strips our ear of all the oils that it has on it. And so therefore, You can't use that as a African person or as a black person for your hair because it makes it more dry and more brittle.
Mhm.
So if you use a conditioner with alcohol, it strips it and then it feels like it just feels coarse and you don't even want to touch it. And then you have to start from the bottom, come up again by oiling it, taking your time to detangle it. Because by the time you're through conditioning your hair with an alcohol conditioner, it feels so dry that you just get frustrated and start combing it and tearing out your hair.
Wow, this is so much information. Um, right, this is a full package, and we could go on and on and on.
We could.
But I am sure that our viewers will get the gist of what we're trying to say. Encourage, be encouraged. Embrace the beauty, the beauty that God has made you with. Your natural elements. These are what defines you. So embrace it. And Sophia, I'm so thankful that, you have not only, provided encouragement on a spiritual basis, but you've also given some practical ways within which, one can take care of their natural hair. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, for having taken time out of your schedule to come and share. And I trust that somebody will be encouraged. It's meant for young ladies, the younger generation, but it can apply to the older generation as well. You have young children, you can pass it on to them as well. Husbands also can listen it, pass it on to their daughters. So it's not just for a particular audience. It can be used for everyone or anyone who needs a little bit of encouragement. So thank you so much.
You are welcome, Christine. And I will say to everybody out there, embrace yourself. You are made in the image of God.
Mhm. Tell yourself, God made me beautiful.
Amen.
Amen.